Quazi here, and in this video, I'm going to show you why you should not be focusing on setting micro-level goals and rather focus on setting macro-level goals, and in general, the gist of reality transurfing visualization. Before I begin this video, I wanted to quickly announce that I'm doing a free giveaway of my book, Life Mastery. If you're interested to get this book for free, at the end of the week, I'm going to be doing a competition and a raffle to win one lucky winner to get the ebook version of this book. Just comment Life Mastery down below to get enrolled in the competition to get a chance to win this book for free. It's around $12 on Amazon, but you can win this for completely free if you just comment Life Mastery down below. Also, I'm excited to announce that the Reality Mastery is officially open in June right now for enrollment, and I'm still offering the free one-to-one consult. So if you're interested in that, wait till the end of the video for the announcement. So in this video, I want to talk to you about setting micro-level goals versus macro-level goals. And this is a realization that I came to recently when I noticed that my mind was trying to control every single event. And after reading Reality Transurfing and Tufty, and again, if you don't know what these books are, they're written by a quantum physicist named Vadim Zeland, who was a quantum physicist, but then he turned into an esoteric teacher of, the metaphysics, and he just completely revolutionized the law of attraction and just explains in a quantum model how the events in reality occur and how to manage them so that you can manifest whatever it is you want. If you haven't read this book yet, make sure you definitely read these books. So that's Reality Transurfing and Tufty the Priestess. So after applying the concepts in this book, I came across this one particular concept recently, which is that whenever you set a goal, just make the intention of receiving the end goal, not controlling the events and controlling the flow of events. So in Reality Transurfing, there is the model of an alternative space, which means that any single reality that you want exists right now in a parallel universe. So there's a version of you that's living as a king somewhere or a queen somewhere and is getting whatever it is that you want in your life. There's a version of you that's also a complete failure and has failed and is completely stuck at whatever you're doing. Anything that you want, anything that you don't want, there are different versions of you in parallel lifelines. So this alternative space contains all of these possibilities that can be manifested. Now, whenever you focus on getting to a certain goal, what happens is the lifeline is particularly switched onto once there is harmony between your mind and your heart. So this unity between the heart and the mind creates outer intention, and outer intention just switches you into different lifelines. Once you switch to a different lifeline, you place a different script at play, and then this script takes a particular path to your final goal. When and how this final goal is manifested is not up to you. It's up to the alternatives model, and nature always takes the path of least resistance to get you from your goals. So what I realized lately was that, just because something isn't going my way right now doesn't mean I'm not getting to my ultimate final goal. So people get very accustomed to controlling events in their lives. They think, if I want to make $20,000 a month, then I must sign the next client that I get on a call with, and that next person, it's just going to come to me this month. I must get this money this month. So they're concerned with the how and the when, not the what and the why. When you're focused more on the what and the why and making that intention within yourself 100%, that decision within yourself to get what you want, the how and when become irrelevant, because it's just going to come to you because you know that it's going to come to you, and you just sort of do whatever is needed in the current frame to get that. So that brings me to my topic of setting micro goals versus setting macro goals. And recently I found out that the mind is focused on control, and whenever I don't get clients into my program, I have a series of calls and I don't sign clients. I'm like, oh shit, well, how am I going to hit my goal of X amount of dollars this month? How am I going to hit my 20K this month? So essentially what's happening is the mind is saying, in order to get Y, I must first get X. And this is exactly what you shouldn't do. So what you're saying essentially is, to get to my larger goal, I must achieve my smaller goal. Now, while this is a good practice to do, and I'm going to get into exactly why this is a good practice to do, but before I get into that, I want to tell you why it's a bad thing to do. So essentially, when you're setting macro level goals, you're making the decision that you want to live that particular life. And believe it or not, people don't even know how to set macro level goals, and it becomes difficult for them. People think they want $20,000, but it's not the $20,000 they want. Like, it's not what the heart wants. So it's insincere that you say, I want $20,000. It's just a stupid, silly little number for the heart and the soul. So a sincere goal would be I want to experience this part of life. I want to travel with my dream partner. I want to have this kind of relationship. I want to experience this part of life, etc., etc. So it's very insincere when you say something like, I want this amount of money, because this money will help me get to that. But now, again, you're doing that in order to get Y, I must first get X. You're basically saying, in order to get to my dream life, I must first make $20,000. Now, there's nothing wrong with setting goals like making $20,000, because this is what you know now. This is, at this moment in time, this is what you know. This is the how that is known to you. So even when you set your macro level goals, don't focus on setting the micro level goals, because when you set, let's say, oh, I want to make $200,000 a month, doing coaching and coaching people and growing my business. And then I set a micro level goal of, okay, in order to get to $200,000, I must first make $20,000, because that makes sense, right? So then I get hung up and attached on making this $20,000 per month. And if you don't know what reality transurfing is, you should definitely look up what is known as visualizing the process. And visualizing the process means you always see yourself improving every single day. While it's good to set micro level goals, people get too hung up on it, and people start to get attached to this micro level goal. So this attachment and this heightened level of importance is what creates the problem in the first place. So I want you to understand there is nothing wrong with setting micro level goals, only when you put too much importance on your micro level goals and you start to think, oh no, I didn't hit my micro goals, therefore I won't hit my macro goals, therefore I'm going to die, I'm going to be stuck, oh no, oh no. This is where importance takes place, and this is how obstacles present themselves in your business, in your life, in anything in general. All obstacles are illusions, and they're all self-created. Just remember that. They're self-created to the extent that you're raising importance, and if you don't know how you're raising importance, definitely click up here to see one of the videos I made on what importance is and how you can combat it. Essentially, importance is raised in the form of excessive potential. Just like bringing up a pencil here means I'm raising gravitational potential, and I release it, it gets to the lowest energy state. When you put too much importance on something, the harmony of nature, the thought energy that you're attributing by putting importance, the harmony of nature becomes an imbalance. So now nature wants to balance this imbalance out through balanced forces. And these balanced forces come in and they take the path of least resistance to balance out this inhomogeneity that you create through your thought energy. Does that make sense? So essentially all these obstacles are self-created. When you put too much importance on your micro level goals, then you're just destructing yourself from your macro level goals, and you're just straying away from them. So it becomes an insistence on controlling the alternatives flow. You're not riding along the flow of life, but rather you're trying to force your way through it. You're trying to say, nope, flow here, do this, do that, and you're being a micromanager. Never in life is it a good thing to become a micromanager. But generally, when you set a big goal and there's an outer intention in place, whenever you decide to get anything in life, you're already switching to that lifeline. Then you start to sabotage yourself, or you start to stray away from that goal as a result of living unconsciously or not turning the slide in your mind's eye. And then this becomes a huge problem, because now you're straying away from your goals and there's no way to revive the goal back. So a tweak that's going to help you with this is to set micro level goals for sure. Set macro level goals and then set micro level goals. These are very good practices to do. So if my goal is 200,000, I want to first make 20,000. And when you do set your micro level goals, make sure you focus on the macro level goal every single day. And when you visualize the macro level goal and not the micro level goal too much, because then the focus becomes too much on controlling this event. So let's say I want to get $20,000 a month. So let's say my macro level goal is I want to make $200,000 a month. And then I go down to, okay, in order to get to that, I want to first make $20,000 a month this year. And then to get to that, I say, okay, I want to sign the next client I jump on a call with. I've scheduled some calls up with some clients, and I want to sign the next client that comes on the call. And then the next 10 clients I sign, and I make $20,000 a month. Now, the problem with this is, even if you do this, there is always going to be an attachment. So if you decide to go this path, I want you to go with it with the mindset of, okay, I could sign this client or I could not sign this client. Regardless, I'm going to get to my $20,000 a month goal. Regardless, I'm going to get to my $200,000 a month goal. This is just about knowingness. There is no belief anymore. It's just knowing that you will get to your goal no matter what. And this knowingness is, again, conviction is again raised through proof. The only way you can raise conviction is through proof. And I've made several videos on how you can increase your beliefs. Definitely click up here to see how you can alter your beliefs to get up to that level of conviction. But essentially, what you want to do is make sure you're not trying to control every little event. And even if you try to achieve your micro goals and visualize the transfer chain and the process, make sure you don't get too attached to it and that you raise too much importance. If I sign the next client, that's fine. If not, I'm still going to make $20,000 somehow. Doesn't matter how or when, I'm making a $20,000 a month and then I'm going to 50, 100, 200 and I'm reaching my goal and I'm living my dream life. I'm going to that mansion in LA, etc., etc. So all of that stuff is definitely going to happen. It's just doesn't matter when it happens or how it happens. I might have some months when I don't sign any clients at all. Doesn't mean I give up on my goal. Do you see what I mean? So the mind just needs proof because it's afraid. It's always afraid. The heart just always knows that I'm eventually going to get there. So now I'm going to share with you 2 keys to alleviate this pain of setting micro-level goals and getting attached to micro-level goals. And the first key, which I mentioned to you, was to, when you set your micro-level goals, make sure you don't get too attached to them. Set them with the sole intent to just begin the momentum of taking action in this frame. So taking action falls under a ultimate manifestation formula, which I made. Make sure you click up here to check that out. But under the ultimate manifestation formula, which is the law of triple action, the third one is propelling your current frame. Propelling the current frame means doing what is necessary right now to help you move one step closer towards your goals. People are like, oh, I don't know how to move towards my goals. I have a goal of making X amount of money and living X life and getting this partner and getting this physique. I just don't know how to do it. I've tried many things, it hasn't worked. Do what you know now. So do what's to the best of your knowledge right now. If you do that, then the idea just comes to you once you're in a momentum of taking action. So the key idea here is get into the momentum of taking action. Set micro-level goals to propel yourself to move forward every single day so that you're taking one step in the direction of your goals. Once you begin the momentum, outer intention just starts to play and reality says, okay, this person is serious about getting their goals, so let's align them. You get more and more aligned energetically to that lifeline where your goals are fulfilled and manifested. So key number 1, set micro-level goals, but don't get too attached to them. Set micro-level goals with a focus to not control every single event, but rather to propel you in the direction of your goal every single day. Key number 2 is always focus on what life looks like after you've achieved whatever it is you want to achieve. Don't visualize the process of achieving that $20,000 a month. What does your life look like after? And this comes again under the ultimate manifestation formula and specifically under number 1, which is propelling your reality. Propelling your reality means you put forward the script and the slide that you would like to manifest, and you look at what your life looks like once the goal has already been achieved. So imagine that it's already been a month or 2 after you've achieved your goal. What does your life look like? Maybe a year or 2 after you've achieved your goal. What does your life look like? What are you doing? Or maybe 3 or 4 days after you've achieved your goal. What are you doing at that point in your life? What does your life look like and who are you? This is very, very important. So make sure you're doing this. So just to recap, the 2 keys, which are super important in getting you out of this micro level hump, is to, number 1, set micro level goals with the intent to propel yourself every single day. Because if you set goals that are too far, your mind will just be like, oh no, that's too big. That's too big of a goal. I can't do it. Like, imagine beginning a homework task and you're like, oh no, this homework is so long. It's going to take me hours and hours to do. Might as well not do it. I'm just going to leave it. But then if you start a big homework task and you're like, okay, I'm just going to get through problem number 1 and see how it is, okay? It's just convincing your mind. So when you say something like, I'm just going to get through problem number 1, see how it is. I'm just going to get through problem number 2 now, see how it is. Okay, let's just get through problem number 3, problem number 4, and eventually you trick your mind into taking action. The key is, the mind is very, very difficult to work with because it just plays a lot of tricks on you. So you need to learn how to control your own biology because you control the character. The character doesn't control you. Don't let the character control you. When you let the character control you, you become a slave to your biology and you live unconsciously. Humanity was made for more consciousness. This is your birthright. This is my birthright. If, you don't exercise your consciousness every single day, it just dies out. If you live in just a little bit more consciousness tomorrow than you did today, your life will drastically change by the next 3 months, I would say. So if you work on increasing your consciousness, and a great way to do that is to track your attention, click up here for a video on how you can track your attention. If you essentially track your attention every single day multiple times, and you just wake up and you become completely present, your life will never be the same again. And this is exactly what I teach in the Reality Mastery program, and my clients have gotten great results from it. So make sure you check this video out, and I promise your life will change if you just practice this every single day. So number one, and the key, is to set micro-level goals with the sole purpose of moving yourself and propelling yourself forward every single day. Always focus on the macro-level goal in the long term. When you visualize, focus on the macro-level goal. You can even focus on the micro-level goal, but focus on what your life looks like after. So that brings us to key number 2. Focus on what your life looks like after you've achieved your final goal. Make it a habit to visualize your final goal and your ultimate life, what it looks like at the end, every single day. At least 5 to 10 times every single day. If you want to visualize your micro-level goals in the meantime, you can do that as well. So I recommend that you also visualize what your life looks like after you've achieved your macro-level goals, after you've achieved your micro-level goals. So what's the next step for you? Does that make sense? So with that, there are the 2 keys, and this video was on why you must always focus on the macro, but also divert your focus from controlling to just having. Focus not on controlling events, but just on having, and give yourself full permission to have, even if it's your micro-level goals. And use your micro-level goals to propel you in the direction of your goals. So with that, thank you so much for watching this video, and I sincerely hope this helped. If you like this kind of content, leave me a comment in the comment section below. And also remember to subscribe and hit the bell if you're new to the channel, so you're notified of every single new video that I put out. And like, and obviously comment, duh. I'm also excited to announce that I'm growing a massive Facebook group where I'll be sharing all of this kind of stuff, and we have a great community. So if you're interested in joining that, definitely click on the link in the description below to join, and I hope I see you there. Also, as I mentioned before, the Reality Mastery program is open for enrollment. And if you didn't know what the Reality Mastery program was, it's essentially the most powerful paradigm of manifestation. See, I found out in my personal life that whenever I became the ideal version of myself, I got what I wanted. I tried out thousands of law of attraction techniques and nothing really worked for me. It worked to the extent where I got little results, but not really the results that I wanted in my life. Not the transformational results that I wanted. So what I started to do was I found out about identity shifting, and I was like, okay, this is interesting. But then what I found out was that identity shifting works because you're no longer focusing on the action. You're no longer even focusing on taking inspired action, what emotions you're feeling. You're not even focused on changing your beliefs, but you're rather focused on changing yourself at the identity level. This is like building a house from the bottom up. If you start at the identity level, then craft your beliefs, then craft the emotions that you need, then craft the action, then you get the whole stack and your reality completely transforms. Imagine trying to build a house from the top down. What kind of house do you get? Obviously a destroyed, crumbled house. So with that, that's why I'm offering the Reality Mastery program, and the free consult is still open for a limited time. If you're interested, click on the link in the description below, and I hope I see you at the free consult. It'll be around 45 minutes to an hour long. And in this free consult, we'll be diagnosing your current law of attraction practices and how you can implement identity shifting into your life right now. So definitely click on the link in the description below, and I hope I see you there. Till next time, peace.